Hello everyone. Hi, this is Coach Catch. So we'll be having this very all-important course, Fundraising Masterclass for businesses, projects, and events. It's important to, first of all, have this acknowledgement or just have this understanding that your business or your project or even that event you're planning, or even if it's an idea, yet maybe whatever you have is yet an idea or is still an idea. It is important to note that fundraising is a skill that must be learned. And if your business or your project or your event is going to be successful, you have to learn the art of fundraising. It's a skill, and the truth is most businesses fail not because the business is not innovative enough, not because the business is not there to solve problem, but because the business does not have that resources, the nutrient. It's just like planting a tree and not watering it, or not feeding it, or having manure, right, to boost its growth capacity and all that. You need money, you need funding to grow a business, you need funding to grow a project, and you need funding to have a long-lasting event that will be the talk of the town even after it's done. Okay, so funding is important. We are not going to shy away from this important resources or this important aspect of business. Okay, yeah, so let's move. What is fundraising? Fundraising is simply the art of generating money for a particular purpose, usually for a business, project, or an event. Okay, so it has to do with generating. So there must be a foundation, okay, for that generation, right? So when we say generate, you do not just generate something from nothing. Something must be there. Okay, so it may still be in your head, but it is because of that thing that is still in your head that you want to generate money, okay, for a particular business, project, or event. Amazingly, this course is going to expose you to the guideline on how you can fundraise. Okay, so whether your business is just starting, whether you're already running, or whether you're still at the idea stage, this course is for you. So what you need to do is to have an open mind. Of course, mindset is everything. Okay, so I'm not just teaching this from a perspective of let me just teach it. This is something that I've done and I'm still doing. Okay, I've gotten tremendous results, and right now I will say I have significant experience in fundraising. Yeah, fundraising is at different levels. Yeah, I may still be operating at a certain level, which we'll understand that it's more like a formula, okay, which can be put into different forms or different stages of your business. Okay, so one thing that is most important is to understand that this is a fundamental knowledge that every business person, every innovator, every creator, should have. Okay, it's a massive skill that is needed today, right? Okay, so the art of generating money, that's what we want to talk about. Why fundraise? The truth is, no business, project, event can survive, grow, or achieve its purpose without the right capital at every stage of that business. Yes, so every business, whether it's a project or maybe it's an event that requires funding, always have one stage or the other. Okay, somebody who wants to do an event as small as to cater for, let's say, 100 people, 100 invitees, will not put this fundamental knowledge or this structure or this skill set into use. Let's say, I want to have an event and I'm expecting 100 people and I want to fundraise for it. You don't expect me to go meet certain brands, okay? You don't expect me to go meet certain individuals, because it doesn't make sense to them to fundraise that project. I'm not talking of I'm not talking of the brand connecting, or I'm not talking of this brand will suit this event. No, I'm talking of you want to reach 100 persons, right? And you're going to meet a brand that is already well established, is already well known, whatever marketing budget they have, whatever. Because if a brand sponsors an event, it's part of their promotional budget for the year. Okay, so it depends on your target market, depends on the capacity of what you want to do, will determine the people you're going to apply these strategies you're about to learn. Okay, now it's important to fundraise because the first thing there is being fruitful. Okay, that's always the first step. Now I got this from the Holy Book, the Scriptures. Being fruitful, that's the first thing. When God said, "Be fruitful, multiply, replenish, and subdue." Now, be fruitful means you have to, first of all, the fact that I have this idea means that I'm fruitful. Okay, so you have to be productive. That's what I was about saying. So being productive, when I mean productive, like I'm seeing a problem, so my creativity has come to a point where whenever I see a problem, I would love to create a solution, or whenever maybe creating a solution that inclines to my inherent capacity and abilities. Okay, so right now, just having an idea of a business, of a startup, or of an event means you're actually fruitful at that point. Now, but we understand that just having it as an idea, it doesn't make it known, doesn't make it successful. So we have to produce, into something that is tangible, into something that is feelable, something that is understandable, before multiplication can be put on it. You understand, right? So from being fruitful to let it become a product or a service that is tangible, or that can warrant the exchange of value. Okay, so that's the next, which is to multiply. So once you're fruitful, you've moved it to something that is tangible, then multiplication can now start happening on it. Okay, then the next will now be to replenish. Now replenish is the ability to most times your innovation or your creativity or your product or your service is an increased level of what is already in existence, or it's a modification of what is already in existence if it's for engineering student that loves modification. Yeah, but the truth is you because you know that yours is better, because you know that okay, this particular product has this challenge, and I'm coming with a full solution. When I mean full solution, so it has what it is delivering, the value that initial product is delivering, and then you have an extra value. What it means is for the replenish, yours is supposed to replenish that which is existing. You get the point now? It's supposed to replenish that which is existing. Then subdue, you have to do what? Now take over the market. Okay, not from the negative point of view, but the fact that you know, and that you know that whatever you're giving has better value. Okay, and why won't it subdue? Okay, so how to put this down so that we understand the stages and also understand why we need to fundraise, because you're not meant to just have an idea, or you're not meant to just have a product, or you're not meant to just start a business that you're not willing to take to the next level. To me, I think it's a waste of time. That's why I'm not fascinated whenever somebody brings an opportunity and I look at it that if I'm going to be putting my time and effort into this, does this have an end? Do you understand? Or is this something that would progress into becoming so big so that every effort and time I've put into it will not just be a waste. It's going to be compounding to greater results. That is the right way to think. That's the right mindset. Okay, so if I'm going into a business or I'm starting a business, I'm not with this my mindset. It means that if I rent a shop, let me use the conventional business. If I rent a shop in a particular street or area, it means with this my mindset, just having this my mindset alone, in a short time I'm going to have different branches. But you and I know that most people rent shops and they remain in that particular one for years, and most times even to renew the rent is a problem. It's just because you don't have that understanding of scaling your business, which fundraising comes into play. Okay, I've seen certain businesses, mega businesses that are in existence today that have branches every single place. Like in every state that I've been to. Now the story is those people started in their house. Now you're not going to say that the first the business they started doing, like the first stage of it could be that from their home they got a space. You're not going to say that the business they did in that space generated the enough revenue to expand to every part of the country. In a mega way, not just let me start a business in a mega way. They fundraised, and there are things that would give you an edge to fundraise, and that is what we are going to look at. So let's move to the next page. Okay, so there are the basic rule for fundraising, the ABC rule. I call it the ABC rule. I use this rule significantly to get to where I am today. Okay, you may be doing business and it gets to a point where maybe challenges, it could be financial challenges. This ABC rule can come in handy at that point. Okay, now this is basic. When I mean basic, like this can be applicable to to basic businesses or event or product or project. Okay, some of the online businesses we do today are less they are not capital intensive. Okay, so this particular rule can really play significantly in them. So maybe let's say you want to buy a course that will move you from one level to the other, then this comes into play, because most courses online are not that expensive. I know you have those high ticket courses, however the general general cost or price for a good course, maybe from all those you can get from $50 and above or less or more. Okay, so the first one is A, which is ask. Yeah, you can ask. Okay, you can ask. Now this also depends on the community strength that you've built or you find yourself, which we're also going to look at as we move. The next is to borrow. Okay, so if you feel you can't ask, you borrow. Most times people will give you because they have an understanding that you're going to pay back. Okay, and a good example is, let's say it's something that I know that if I put my effort, I'm going to make maybe far more than what I borrow. Okay, so that is safe, and that is safe to it's less risky to to do. So you go ahead and borrow, having the mindset that you're going to pay back at the due time. The last but not the least is C, capitalize. So let's say you have something, maybe you have 2 smartphones, okay, and you want to do this, you want to start. There's always a need to start, okay, because for every investor has a stage that they want to come, so fundraising has stages. So it depends on if you really want to get to those stages where you have significant funding. Of course, you have to invest, you have to put your own money, you have to put your own time and resources and all that. Okay, so if you can apply these 3 rules, any of these 3 or the 3 of them or 2 of them at the same time, I'm sure you'll be able to get that basic funding for a project, for a course, for a business, for whatever that will take you to the next level. It's just to put your mind down and think of this and see where they can they can function. Okay, move to the next one. So taking it to the next level, building the next big thing. So this is now beyond getting a course. This is now beyond starting something small. Okay, this is now taking it to the next level. So there are 3 essential questions to ask yourself. Do you have an MVP? That's the first one. Okay, minimum viable product. That's the meaning of MVP. So minimum viable product is that particular thing that we see. Just as the Holy Scripture says that faith is a substance of things hoped for and evidence of things not seen. Yeah, what is that thing that I can connect with, that this is going to be successful? Do you understand? That is what MVP is. Okay, this is why an investor will be willing to part away with his money. Okay, now I skipped prototype here because investors prefer MVPs. Yes, a prototype should come in. Okay, so let's say I have an idea in my head, and I'm from the first stage, which is the idea stage, I've been able to create that idea into something tangible. So it's now a product. That product is the prototype. Let's say whatever product you can think of, it's the prototype. Now, it is not justifiable enough for me to invest into that business. Okay, so I'm speaking from a co-investor's point of view. But of course, that's why I said there are levels to this investment, or there are levels to this fundraising. The first set of people who are going to love to give you money, even at the prototype stage, could be from your community, from your family, from your friends. Okay, but you have to move. You have to move. So it is your responsibility to move from the idea stage to what? The prototype stage, and then the MVP stage. That is where investors would love to come in. So MVP is now where that product, you have data to show that it's being demanded for, or it's being sold. Okay, so the investor will look at, maybe you were able to use your $1 or your $1 to create this product from here to here, and you were able to sell. You sold 10 pieces, and that 10 pieces give you, so let's say $1 for each one. So it's your cost price for production is $10, and you're able to make $25. That is 150% increment. That's the MVP. So the investor would think it is very simple, straightforward. If you use $10 to make $25, that means if I should give you $100, you can make $250, and then we share profit. See how basic it is, because there's an MVP. Okay, so the next question you want to ask is, do you belong to a community or communities? Okay, when I started my first venture, the first set of people to support me, through fundraising, people from workplace, people from my religious community I belong to. So you want to do what? You want to belong to a community, because and in each of this community you have to give value to attract that confidence and that trust that you can deliver when you say, okay, there's something good that is coming up and I want you all to be part of it. Okay, the next question you want to ask is, do you have the right structure? Okay, because most times it's not just having an opportunity for fundraising or for investors to come in? Have you made the right structures, which includes a team, depending on what the business, the project, or the event is? That would, a team would increase it will increase the mindset of it being successful, because everybody will bring in their own quota, will contribute their own quota of experts, of expertise, that's of what they can do and what they can give, their value. Okay, so everyone will contribute. Then legality. How legal is your business, your project, and the event you're doing? Is it something that is going to be a challenge to the laws of the land, or to the security of the land? So once you have these structures put in place, these are the questions you need to ask. Then shares. Okay, so have you registered the business, which is still under legality? You have to register the business. Now, if you're going to be serious, if you want to be serious with fundraising, you have to skip the enterprise business registration structure or model. You move into the limited liability package. Okay, that way investors take you more serious. You can even go beyond the regular registration, which is usually the 1 million shares. So you can move a bit further, okay, depending on your structure, on the structure you want to run, okay, and the amount of shares you're willing to give out. Okay, so if, of course, this is alone, it's a very interesting part of fundraising and all that. So maybe if you want to know more about shares and all that, there's a course on the platform on it. Okay, there's a course on it on the platform. But however, you can always reach out to me. At the last page, you get to know how to reach out to me. Maybe if you want to have a one-on-one mentorship or help. Okay, so we are moving to the next. At the idea stage. Okay, at the idea stage, so there are seven steps you need to take. Once the business, the project is still at the idea stage, 7 steps. So the first one is from the head, to writing it down. So you need a business plan. Okay, so having it as an idea in your head cannot be recognized as something that is tangible to put money into. Okay, so for a business plan, depending on what that is, a business plan should include you've carried out case studies, you've done your market research and all that. Okay, then a team. You need a team. Okay, so after you've come up with the idea, the business, this is what it is, the innovation, there are people who would contribute. Make sure you go after them, get them. Okay, have a team. Okay, then the next one is to getting the prototype. Okay, once you have the prototype, the next thing is to getting the MVP ready and rolled out. Okay, I'm just giving you a step-by-step actionable step you should take to have a successful business that is funded. Okay, now I'm just saying how you can take your business, and this fundraising goes to the extent of bringing in VCs and even getting the bank to fund, or major organizations that are responsible for let's say you're in the housing sector, there are organizations responsible for that and all that. So These are the step-by-step approach. Okay. So the next one is start structuring. So business registration with all the right bodies. Okay. So your business may need more, or your service, or or your project, or even the event may need more than just the basic registration. Okay. And the next thing you need to do, so once you've done this, you've carried out these 5 first steps, the next step is to start talking in your community. So start talking about it, make new connections via events. So there are events that are mostly events that are connected to that business or project. Okay. You start growing. So most of the community that joined us, we are from other sub-community events and all that. Okay. Then start selling a bit. So remember, you've gotten the MVP, so it means it's ready for to start making money. So while you're doing what you're doing, while you're growing, start selling. Keep selling a bit, no matter how small, because that is what you're going to use. Okay. It may not be sales per se. It may be just collecting data of interested customers. That is growth. That is movement. Okay. Now there are different types of investors who will love to meet you at different levels. Okay. So from the first 5 stages or levels, steps that are here, the investors that will join you at different different steps. So you need to identify those kind of investors and go after them at each level, at each stage you find yourself. Okay. So if it's an already existing business, you have to, of course, restructuring to be investable. Most businesses are not designed to receive funding. So the first thing you do is to restructure. Of course, all you need to do is to go back, work with this, get the registration and get it set, get your share capital ready and all that, get your team, and all that. So upgrade what needs to be upgraded. Yes. So if maybe you've been running on enterprise level, upgrade to limited level. Okay. Then start keeping records. Very important. So you're already existing business, so you've been running. So take your records seriously, because that's what you use to create what we call a pitch deck, stating your potentials and which shows clearly how an investor will make profit. So it's clear. The pitch deck would, the investor will see, okay, just with the same scenario I gave earlier in this course, which is I put in $100, and for somebody who is making $25 from $10, that means it's the tendency of him to even make more than $250 when he's giving $100 is there, because the more the capital, the more the marketing, the more the exposure. So most times it's not when there is more funding, there will be more results that are not logical to where the person was before. Okay, so there's always that exponential growth. Okay, yeah. So the next thing, very important, that would help you very fast, is those businesses and individuals your business project connects to, approach them first. Let's say you have a beautiful recipe that people are crazy about. You should be able to approach the people in your community who own restaurants first. Those are people who would want to invest in that business, because first of all, that your product inclines with what they are doing. Secondly, your product will create, would give more value to what they are doing, so they want the sources of it, and of course the profit. Okay, so they're the first people that will be willing to set up a meeting with you and get started with you. This is from full experience that I'm sharing this. Okay, so once you approach those people first, and they are the validators, they are the ones to validate whatever you're doing. And once that is done, a random investor that not necessarily maybe he's not inclined to niches or all that, what is interested in, I give you $100 and okay, I believe you're going to grow and my money is going to turn to $2,000. That is that is how some investors, that's how they are built, and that's how the venture capitalists most times are built. They are interested in the financial growth of the money they've invested. Okay, so by having people who are already in line with you, so these are things you can start doing now, and you start seeing results. Like you can have a 1-week plan. Okay, have your pitch deck. We have a pitch deck course if you're new to this. Okay, get a pitch deck and approach those people who are already in line, that are connected to what you're doing. There are many of them. There are many branches to what you're doing. Okay, think, put your head down, think, write it down. Always write down is important. Take your pen, write things down. Okay, once you're writing it down, you'll be amazed at what will be flowing out from your thinking faculty. Okay, so that's the thing you do, and this is how you're going to be funded. Then the next is selling bit as you grow. So while you're doing what you're doing, keep selling, keep moving, keep growing that data list, keep growing that customer list, keep growing that client database. Okay, these are your tools, these are your MVPs. Okay, so this is step-by-step approach for an already existing business. Okay, this year can turn your business to a multi-million dollars business, irrespective of the level that you are now or you're starting. Once you can put this, they are simple, right? Of course, there is a whole lot of work you need to do. Okay, restructuring, record keeping. Most people are not. There are tools to do these things. Okay, yeah. So that's why we have a community. So you can always ask your questions. Okay, to help. Yeah, and so the next is selling bits, like we said. So you can continue to grow and pose as very profitable, which is important. Yeah. Conclusion: if you feel you can't do this on your own, just connect with me on IG. Send that's my IG, a DM. Send me a DM. So if you want us to work like together, maybe you expose me to that your project, to that your business, or to the event. Yes, so you can always you can give me a shout out, okay, on IG. Okay, so now just to share a bit of my testimony from where I started with these things I've shared with you now, to where just to see that it was all fundraising that I used to get to one stage to the other, and I'm still moving forward. Okay, yeah. So just watch this little clip. I started my digital journey in the year 2018. From then, I was able to build from here to here and then to here. I also met amazing people along the way, hosted celeb events. Currently now have my digital asset app on the Play Store. No matter the knowledge you have, no matter the skill set you have, no matter the courses you buy online, the truth is, if you don't have the right mindset, if you don't have the right community that would inspire you, that will build you up, okay, that would demand results from you, it is likely you're not going to do well. So you need a community that will inspire you, a community that will mentor you, guide you, and also teach you. Okay, like our community, which is the Like Minds and Founders Connect. We inspire, we teach, we set goals, like the 60 days challenge to hit $3,000. We create a system whereby I call it the copy and paste system, or the copy and paste approach. So we follow the same path and process and system to achieve the same goal. Okay, it's a simple copy and paste approach. If you want to join this community, click on the link at the bio. See you at the top.